Okay, I guess we do have everyone joined by now. If not, would request to quickly join, inform your friends so that we can start with the week two of this virtual internship in generative AI. So, as you all would be aware, there are quick things that I would like to discuss with you. First is that I did see some interesting submissions. However, I would also say that a couple of you did miss the submission as well. So it would be good that you mandatorily submit your coding exercises by end of Monday, coming Monday. For week two, we'll introduce you and share with you the exercise by today itself. And it was even lovely to see a couple of your responses uh, where you guys have made an effort to learn something new, to try things, Anna. And I would like to congratulate, first of all of you for trying and making in the required efforts. So even before we go ahead and discuss in detail, I would request you all to uh, get onto your laptops, log into the community platform, and yeah, we'll get ahead with our session today. So the interesting thing is you will receive, all of you who have successfully submitted their submissions and done the exercises well enough will receive a batch, a week one batch by today evening. And apart from this, you can gear yourself up by evening. You will also get email with the solutions for exercises that you have done in week one. So we'll share solutions as well with you in terms of code snippets that we have that you can go and search on Candy platform. So welcome to this week two session. So before we get started, uh, just check out the link in the chat that must have been shared by one of my colleague, and we will use that to get ahead for our session two. Okay, so I can see that this is the link for our post page for today. And today we're going to talk about a kit that a couple of you may have also, worked with us during one of the 60-minute boot camp that we had with Christ. How many of you already did this voice to image with us? Okay, anyone? Okay, interesting. Okay. So I just hope not everyone has already gone through the session. This is a generative AI, let's say level two session. Oh my God. So I guess there are some 10, 11 who have already done it. But yeah, we'll have to take this and I'm going to ask you some interesting questions. In fact, you'll also have to give me suggestions for prompts. We're going to try and test this solution interestingly for what more we can explore around it. All right. So then it will be more interesting for those who have already checked it out. I'll take it through a similar angle of sorts. So I hope you guys have already logged in. It's chat feature enables once you are logged into the community platform. You're onto this page, and as you go down, you will check out what all you can work around in the solution. So all those who are joining in for the first time, don't worry. I'll discuss from the very basics itself. I mean, not the basic of generative AI, but yeah, we will talk about voice to image generation from the basics. We'll talk about the Delhi GPT-3 Whisper models as much as we can in a 1 hour session. And we will also talk about that how you can, try to get the best of the performance from this model. So this is one of the most interesting kits where we get some really amazing, stunning AI generated digital art that nobody can, um, let's say that you are copying from the internet. That is something which there are completely, as of now, no laws around how these AI images that have been generated without any human intervention physically into it uh, requires any. I mean, just it's a thought-provoking thing that people are actually selling the generative AI-based images as well. still that's happening. But now it has since there are multiple tools that are available. So no longer such NFTs are as costly and popular. But then the premium versions of such tools are there. So don't just think that the delay is not generating images as Midjourney does, because it's a paid version. We are going trying to use something which is free of cost, and where we are trying to access OpenAI's API. So all of you who already know about the kit, please stay a little patient. And those who are joining in for the first time, don't worry, since I will take you from the very beginning. So you know that the pattern that we follow, we do a 10-minute tutorial refresher, which you can check out just in case you have something that you want to revise, revisit. Also, we will upload the recording here post the session, so that because of any network disturbances, if you're missing out on anything, you can check out that particular portion from the session. Okay, apart from that, you know that there we follow a Candy one-click kit as a solution. So what is different and why we call it this one-click kit solution? We try to say that we have provided with the required dependencies. We have you don't require to install Python specific libraries so that you are able to run the kit. All that we try and set up for you. We want to keep the code ready enough for you that you can readily install and download and set install it onto your systems from here. So that is the interesting part about the Candy Kit. And we'll come back to this. I want to talk about that you will get your level 1 batch today, and be assured that you mandatorily submit your coding exercises on the coming Monday by 6 p.m. Okay, only then you will receive your badge as well as your internship certificate at the end of the complete internship. So yes, your coding exercises are here. Also, we will do a simple exercise on how you can use Candy, okay, candy.openleo.com, to search for solutions and submit exercises uh, for yourself. To simplify how you're able to search for interesting course snippets, I will demonstrate it using one of the examples today. And then you also have this support section, which couple of you already used to ask questions. You can use the reply button here. You could use the chat feature here, post your query in the Christ University channel. We see we have some queries here already. So yeah, that speaks out. Do that, it is going like an interesting journey for all of you. So let's get okay. Is there something that anyone would like to add? Okay, no problem. So yeah, please, you need to keep your mic mute all times, please. Okay, so let's get started by setting this candidate onto our systems. So the steps to be followed. Okay, talking about your submissions. How many of you were able to, what did you feel? Since it's a generative AI, it's the topmost, I would say, advanced level domain that we offer. So one quick question from you. How many of you thought it was, what was the difficulty level? You felt it was very difficult, it was medium level, it was easy. How would you state it in terms of, let's say, in the chat, or you can unmute yourself if you would like. Your week 1 exercises. Why I'm asking it? Based on that, I'll be able to plan better for, let's say week 3. Week 2 is already prepared, but yeah, we would at least have an understanding as to what grounds you were able to take with the exercises. Any inputs from you guys? Come on. We've been an interactive batch last week 1. It's okay. You could put in your genuine comments. That will help me make it either easier or more difficult based on your understanding. Go ahead. No comments. Okay. Abhinav says it was good. moderate in finding, but a little bit difficult to understand the code by ourselves. True, Abhishek. The thing is, both of you, I mean, I do understand was good. It has to be a little bit way difficult than normal AI engineering data science courses. The reason being, you are doing the top most advanced and the most latest trending technology. So we have to keep up at a certain level. But the interesting part is, and how many of you were you able to use Candy to search? Okay, it was new, something I haven't tried earlier, but interesting. Thanks, Rishti. That helps understand that it was at least helping you guys. Medium level things were new, but as we tried to understand, it became interesting. Thanks, Kapish. We That's what is required, right? To do something which is just beyond normal exercises that we keep doing, and we want to keep the level mixed of sorts, where both of yeah, absolutely, where you are able to say, okay, it's difficult, it is challenging, it's good enough to be done throughout the week, okay, right? It so that you are able to do it within 5 days of sorts. To be honest, we want that you do it in a 5 day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So help in getting different solutions for same problem. Okay. So we also suggest. Thanks, guys. So these are really important reviews than anything more that we do here, because without your feedback, we are actually also building up the tool to get better and better for your search. So that with a more and more ease, you're able to get to the quick solutions. Okay, now let's get started. So we'll start with our setup. Let's go ahead and say, click on the Candy One Click Kit button. This is your kit page. And the kit page basically has instructions for the key. So one thing which we require specifically in our first two sessions, the week one and week two, is an API key, because we are using OpenAI libraries, or let's say OpenAI tools. And to be able to access those, we need an API key. Couple of you did mention that there was a quota thing, other thing. So you see that how OpenAI initially said that it will keep the services free, but then, I mean, they have monetized it. It's only a 3 month thing. So that's not in our hands. But another interesting thing is we have a GPT for all kit, wherein you don't even need to you don't even need the API access. But that kit is more about conversational bots, which we worked on last week. So coming back here, this is how you go through the key process, how you extract the key process. For all those who are new, we will discuss it from scratch. And then there are instructions listed down if you want to manually open the kit. Okay. So suppose you have first time installed it and now you want to manually open the kit, then it's very important you follow these instructions to activate the environment, this instruction to activate the environment, and then simply go ahead and open your Jupyter notebook. All right. So for Linux and Mac OS, the instructions are listed down here. So we'll click on the one click installer, a zip file will download. Just say show in the folder wherever it is getting downloaded onto your systems. Always remember to right click and extract all. Okay, right click and extract all. Then once you have successfully extracted the folder, only then double click, get into the batch file. You would see a notification from Windows prompting you. Why? Because this is a file which will start setting things automatically for you. So that's why Windows is asking, would you like to go ahead? So you can say more info, run anyway. Also, if your antivirus is activated, that uh, you may have to deactivate it while you set it up, because it tries to stop anything that is executing onto your system automatically, right? This is automatically running, so it may try to stop it, and that may also be a reason for your kit getting delayed in downloading. So for all of you who are joining and like installing it for the first time, go ahead, set this kit onto your systems. In the meanwhile, as this kit is going to get set up, I uh, I would like to request one of you to give me a prompt that I could enter and give me an interesting one. And also remember, this is not Mid Journey, which is a paid which is a paid premium access where you get crazy realistic images, right? I could search for, let me showcase one prompt to you regarding the kit, which is already an interesting solution. I always like to demo this one. The reason being, we don't know, right, what our mind can think, and everything in the digital world becomes realistic. Things which we may not have even thought of. So let's say an example of, okay, um, uh, a wizard casting spell inside a castle in high resolution, digital art, photorealism, and completely artistic. Let's see. Oh, okay. So yes, let us check. Invalid ID data found when processing input. Okay, interesting. Let me just restart and run all. I have been running this kit for a while, and the thing is, slowly and gradually, OpenAI is uh, just trying that they also make the system very effective. So I just made a quick search for Shah Rukh Khan image, reading something, or Elon Musk. So then it will try to stop me, saying that this is not something that you can do with the delay. So again, I'll try this once again. Give me an image of a wizard casting a spell in a castle in high resolution. Okay. All right. So now it works. Just a couple of minutes, but it is pretty much faster as compared to a lot of one thing that is happening here is wow. Yes, it looks really interesting. And the thing is, you can download this image, you can copy the prompt and use as much, save this image in whatever format you like. Let's say I want to save it in format or whatever name, 6.png, JPEG. And then I would also demo how you can resize an image using OpenCV. So that's going to be our agenda for today. All right. So your skit should be setting up here. Just minimize that screen and we will now move into the concepts for today's session. In case you have any questions, you may put it in the chat. All right. So we'll do a bit of introduction on to what is this, what I try to do with my speech, with my voice. I try to generate image, and then we'll discuss various OpenAI models. We'll talk and we will also do a core snippet exercise around how you can use, Candy to simplify working on exercises that we provide. Somehow we want to align it with uh, these generative AI tools, as well as try to enhance the way you can use our tool to going ahead, create code around various other solutions. So then we will check out and discuss the solution, how we have built up the solution. So we'll talk about generative AI. It does create, original content, and then it does help with, let's say, two neural networks competing with one another. So when I say like the two neural networks trying to compete with one another, in generative AI, the interesting part is you are able to you are able to reproduce something for which the model has not been even trained. So let's say I never trained my model for, for the kind of prompt that I just gave it. But it knows what a castle is, it has been trained on what wizards are, and then lot of images it has been trained and it tries to combine those concepts together so that it is able to get, based on the text, is able to get us the image. And then the good thing is we say that with generative AI, you go for a zero shot detection, or you go for a model where the two neural networks try and compete in a manner that they try to get you as close as possible to the expected outcome. So it's not just a particular network getting trained and you getting to the outcome. It's about the neural network competing to get as close as possible to the expected outcome. And there has to be a positive result of that contest in order to get you to the expected result. And then you see today's applications, obviously they are in art, music. If you talk about art, which is our voice to image generation for today, then you simply are able to also note the interesting part that from our previous session on ChatGPT, we built up a bot which was capable enough to, onto our own systems, right? Which was capable to write those stories for us. It can review book for us. It can summarize things for us. It can do language translation. It can list down how it can become a travel guide for us. It can, most of the things it will try and perform for us. The limitation was on the number of tokens that are being generated. Okay. There is limitation on how your GPT, which model of which, let's say I have used the DaVinci 003 model in the previous session. Today we will use a different version, let's say, for generating of, we are using another form of image generation, which is DALL-E, but then we will also use a different set of chat GPT model inculcated with the image generation. So I'll showcase it, how we are working around it. We have our whisper first, which is used to capture our voice. It is capable to capture different languages, not just English. It can capture in Hindi, it can capture in Tamil, it can capture in, I think, 18 different languages. This whisper module is capable of capturing our speech and then translating or transcribing it into text. And then whatever has been captured, it goes to ChatGPT, which is responsible for summarization or making our prompt, we want that whatever has been detected should be correctly put up into a text form, right? A prompt. That prompt becomes the command for the image generation module, which is DALL-E. Okay. So three things we are using: Whisper, ChatGPT, and DALL-E. And this process where we are creating an image based on spoken description, this has actually revolutionized how even the marketing persons are nowadays quickly able to do quick interfacing. People who are you used to create a lot of art are putting their imagination into form of digital images and using them for, let's say, logos, for, you know for their brand images, for their product images and whatnot. Right? Every time, even if you give that same prompt, you will get a different image. That's the power of your generative AI. You won't get the same result, right? That's something that is very, very powerful. That this has amazing potential in the design and advertising. It will be helping in getting more efficient creations, and a lot of visual content would be delivered very quickly. Even for creating your own LinkedIn posts, etc., you could use the tool and create and generate images. So to be able to showcase you, I just gave a prompt, like give me an image of Frankfurt City skyline at dawn, super detailed, ultra realistic photorealism. So it did try to give me an image around dawn. And yeah, this does look, and the image is pretty high definition as well. I was able to stretch it, and yeah, it looks like this. And then this is from one of you from the last session itself. This was a very interesting prompt posted by one of you itself from the session last time when I discussed voice to image. See the image that has been generated: the moonlight dissolving into swirling sand, polymetric dust, cinematic lighting, close-up portrait. Such a beautiful representation of this prompt, if you can see on the screen. So just a quick question. Is that person who put this in the prompt also there in the session today? Oh, Sumit Agrawal. Okay. Interesting prompt, huh, Sumit? I really searched for it, and I really liked how how you had illustrated to delay and let's say chat GPT what exactly we want to get into a image form. So yeah, today I'll be looking forward for more suggestions on interesting prompts to showcase the power of this tool. Then coming to this second module, or no, I'm sorry, the first module, which is Whisper. This is again an OpenAI module, or let's say a generation model, where your general speech that you are speaking through your microphone is being captured. And since it has been trained on a diverse data of audio, let's say multitask, various multilingual models have been used to recognize speech, as well as the interesting part is it is able to do speech translation and language identification. Only then, right? If I'm speaking in Hindi, it is able to transcribe in Hindi. And if I'm speaking in Tamil, it is able to transcribe in Tamil. However, for my current model, my suggestion is to keep it to English itself. All right. Coming to our chat GPT, we discussed in last session, it's one of the most brilliant inventions of your large language model regimes that have been introduced by this organization, Sam Altman and his group of developers, and that has related in what do you call uh, you know, amazing plugins and tools around it. So this was trained on a GPT-3 with 175 billion machine learning parameters. So that is something which is making it most magnificent throughout the world. If you look at the learning parameters, there has never been any other model before this that has had parameters as big as this. Sorry. And then we talk about delay. So this open source model, this is in the form of text image pairs. Okay, so you have your text, you have your images, and from the textual descriptions, we try to recognize it using our natural language processing capabilities that your machine also has, and then based on that voice input that we are giving, we try and generate as close as possible based on more detailed description. So the descriptions has to be as detailed and as specific as possible. So I'll showcase you what difference it will make if we don't detail and if we detail it. So, and another thing I would like to tell you that this implementation for image generation and even the chat GPT, these are all multi-model implementations. You had your generative pre-trained transformers. So transformers are wherein you put it in a mathematical vector form, and then those mathematical vectors are what are the representations of your communication with the machine. So machine won't understand what you are trying to discuss with it. It will it will map it into a 0, 1 mathematical vector form, and then accordingly fetch it whenever you are requesting an outcome. Okay, so with the 12 billion parameters that was swapped with text, I mean the text was swapped for pixels, this delay was introduced. And later, initially it was comprising of 3.3 million text image pairs. And the interesting part was you could combine any unrelated concepts. Like, I'll showcase an image of a dog with, on the moon, under the sun, in a very artistic manner. So I will try to use this prompt as well in today's time when try to showcase you as things which are unrelated. We could combine them with the help of this delay today. And then the second delay 2 version, which we are using for our current model, that was using 3.5, from 12 billion, we came down to 3.5 billion parameters. And that helped in enhancing the efficiency of the model overall. So slowly and slowly, we are able to get a better response. But yes, if you talk about Mid Journey and similar tools, then obviously those are complete premium versions where we'll have to pay for the service and then we can actually create more interesting uh, image images from text. So for now, we will quickly get back and check out the, just check out our voice to image kit. So this is the kit. What you got to do, you just have to say yes and press enter. A Jupyter notebook will automatically open for all of you. So this should be the notebook that opens for you guys. I did demonstrated a demo with it. So you guys will have to extract this key for your account. Since you all have already created a fresh OpenAI ChatGPT account, so now it won't be a big trouble for you, correct? From the last session, we learned how you create, how do you uh, get to your own key. You get onto the kit page, you click here, you see that there is a key that is already being generated by me. Similarly, you can create one of your own, okay, and keep it securely for yourself so that it is just you who is using the maximum of it for your usage free of cost until that's available. And then once you have pasted the key, just restart and run all so that your kernel is active. We'll talk about what is happening in the code first. So purposely, we have imported the Gradio library here. What is this Gradio library? So your Gradio library is primarily used for the UI part. The part where I'm using, all this, where uh, I'm able to record my audio through a microphone. I'm able to get this button for clear, submit, etc. So we got the Gradio library for that. Then we have OpenAI because this is used for the API, I mean the key access that we are doing, the API key access that we are doing. So we need to import the library for that. We have imported the OS if you are accessing something within the operating system. And then the regular warning we want to avoid and ignore. So that's also mentioned here. So first, once you have your keys, go ahead and copy paste those. By now you should have your keys. In case you are having trouble with the keys, do let me know. I won't share mine, but I'll have to ask you to use one of your friends. Okay. So coming back to creating ChatGPT Delay prompt. What different do we do here? Similarly, here also we've messaged and provided the role, right, to our ChatGPT, where we are saying you are a helpful assistant, right? And then you mention the role, you append it with the user where you say summarize the text. What we're trying to do basically, whatever has been provided by the user, you want to summarize the text into a short and concise prompt for the delay. Okay, that's done here. Then comes in your chat completion dot create. So you see that that's what I was saying. We are using a different model here. We are using the GPT 3.5 Turbo. All right, because we just want to summarize, right? So let's just use more specific model that can just do the summarization if required for us. And then that gets saved here, and then you get a returned reply from this ChatGPT API. What is the return reply? This text. This text is what is being returned as a summary reply from the ChatGPT. Then after that, you have your delay to image generation. So basically how this functions is you first capture, let's come to the first important part. You first capture your audio, all right, through the microphone. Then once you have the audio, you rename it in a dot wave format, WAV, and then you open it in the read mode and save it in the audio underscore file. Then you use the transcribe function of your Whisper module, say openai.audio.transcribe, and you're using the Whisper one to transcribe this audio file, okay, whatever you have said. And that transcribed text gets saved in a variable called transcript. Then you call your ChatGPT API, correct? This code that we had discussed. Very simple API code. This transcript gets passed. You get a text form of whatever you have spoken. Then your delay API gets called, or this method got called. What is happening here? The textual prompt, yeah, whatever I've written, right? Give me an image of a dog. on the moon listening to music. So that textual form goes here. Your OpenAI.image.create with the parameters prompt and the size of the image. You can, if you would like, increase the size here, but I also would like to showcase you how you can do the same with your code snippet exercise. So yeah, we can mention the size here, and then you use the prompt to generate the image, and simply you return the URL of the image as a return from this method, DelAE API. Okay. And then this DelAE API, the response that has been returned is get saved in the image URL, and both the text as well as the URL of the image as is being returned from here. Where do they go? So when we come to the Gradio interface, first of all, you get the speech to text, and then you get DelAE image, both these boxes here, right? Then that those are the labels for these two text box and image box. Then you read gr.interface, wherein your transcribe whisper underscore transcribe module is being saved into FN. Your inputs are your audio file, which is being captured through the microphone, and that's get saved into inputs. For output, what are the two outputs that you are getting, students? What are the outputs that I'll get? Anyone who could answer it in the chat, I would be more than happy to learn. What are the two outputs that we are getting?
The prompt text and the image.
Good, good. So yeah, it's good that we are here. We are together here. All of us are listening. So one is your obviously image URL and the transcript text. All right. So these will be your two outputs. And then, yeah, this is the simple title generative which is using voice that is being put here. Okay. And then you can also run it from this URL separately here if you would like. And if you would like to also publicly share it, that's also possible. You can create a public link. All right. Now coming to the part, let's clear this. Let's go for a fresh prompt that we would like to test onto this as of now. So I would like to showcase something, but I would be more happy to take one from you guys. Any prompt that we should demo in the session. That will be interesting for those that are, okay, I already have an interesting one. An amazing quick response from Abhishek. Imagine a data scientist dream workspace. Create an image that captures the perfect blend of cutting edge technology, vast data visualization, and inspiring environment. All right, I'll have to speak it from here. So nobody opens their microphone. I'll record it in that kit. Reading from here. Imagine a data scientist dream workspace. Create an image that captures the perfect blend of cutting edge technology, vast data visualizations, and an inspiring environment that sparks innovation. Show me the essence of a data scientist's creative heaven. Wow, I'm not sure what it would have captured, but the prompt seemed really interesting. So, I mean, we are also not aware what your model will generate, right? This is the most interesting part. Every time you will give a prompt, you don't know what it will create, whether it will be able to even generate what is expected. See, it just gave a phone and the ties. Maybe I imagine a data scientist dream workspace, create an image that captures the perfect blend. So can you see the scientist creative heaven? Everything was clearly recognized. The whisper module worked well, the text, speech to text worked well, but the image doesn't seem that interesting. Sorts, the workspace could have had a little bit more detailing, and this details, this doesn't sound very interesting. So you may have such weird images also in the prompts. So we'll have to see what works well. You may have to give a little bit more instruction. That is what prompt engineering is. That somehow you're able to get them to produce what is expected. Let's try something else and see what interesting thing it will produce. Any other suggestions for prompt? Ooh, Alia has a detailed one. Let's try Alia and see. Create an imaginative and futuristic cityscape at night. The city should be filled with towering skyscrapers, vibrant neon lights, and futuristic transportation. There should be flying cars zooming through the sky, elevated highways, weaving between buildings, and holographic billboards displaying advertisements. The overall atmosphere should be dynamic and energetic, portraying a bustling metropolis of the future. Wow, that was a detailed one and an interesting one as well. So we do expect something good from the model. Let's see. Taking beyond the time that, oh yeah, actually this looks magnificent. Metropolis of the future. Huh? And where are those flying cars? Huh? Maybe I'll save the image, right click it. You just have to say test2.jpg. Okay, enter. And now what I'll do, well, let's do a quick code snippet exercise. All right. I'll say file, new notebook. And then I'll go to my Christ page, university page. And then I'll let me also showcase you this image first. Hmm. So as I zoom in, it does blur a bit. So I do have to mention high resolution, all right? Because if we mention high resolution, then somehow I feel the image quickly doesn't get distorted. All right, so we'll do a very simple exercise today, resizing an image with max width and height using OpenCV. This, what we share here is a link where you can quickly do the search yourself as well and what keywords we had used. So I'll put up, we'll take the link from candid.openviewer.com and I will say simply here, resize an image. I may not write using height width, etc. I will just mention the library. It's better I mention the library. Again, that will help me make my search interesting, right? And pick up simple one. Let's pick the simplest one here itself. This looks like the import is made, the variables are declared. Let's copy paste it here. So it has a file name test2.png. I need to get my image here. Okay. So I'll go to the folder first. I got my image. This image is what I would like to resize. I'll cut it from here, get into my voice to image generation, paste it. So my test file is here. Let me remove another test output that I had put down. I want the size to be 1000 maybe, and sorry, 1200. What is the name of my file? Test, and it's a JPEG file. So JPEG file, and the file will be saved in a out.png form. All right, let's run. It says true. So I'll go back to my folder. This was my test file. I want larger sized file. Hmm. So this is a better output of the resolution, right? 1000 by 1200. Maybe we can try something else. Maybe I would say, I'm not sure, but then let's try 1600 or 2000 and then divide in this ratio as 1000 and name the image output 1.png. PNG and then just maximum height width. Yeah. So it does not. Now it is true. We go and check out the output one. Doesn't seem to be much of a difference to me. But yeah, we can resize images. Maybe I'll pick this one, which I generated as a high resolution image. Uh, what is this image? I already have it, I guess. 5.png. Let me also showcase an attempt with this one. What I'm just trying to do, I'm just trying to check simple snippet being run. Okay. And out one, two. This was my 5.png. Now I want to check. Yep. So I've been able to resize my image pretty much. A very, very simple OpenCV exercise that I was just wanted to showcase you. You can actually save images, resize them, do much more beyond these. So yeah, I think this is our kit. The thing is the code is minimal here. If you see, we just had to make some quick API calls and get this key, and we were able to do it. Supposedly, you think that somehow let's do that same image. One more quick generation for this dog image listening to music. That's one of my interesting prompts, right? So I'll check out that one once again. Give me an image of a dog listening to music on the moon under the sunlight in artistic form where the sun and the moon are getting intermingled and all of it looks pretty photorealistic digital art form of types. Not sure what will come out, but I do really like testing this dog image a lot. That was the first that we tested on to this model while we were developing this solution. And where is the music? Whenever dog listening on music on the moon under the sunlight. That must have been confusing in artistic form where the sun and the moon are getting intermingled and all of it looks pretty photorealistic. Yeah. So the moon is a bit there, the sun is there. It's all the time I'm getting a new image. But somehow I see that the music as a context doesn't seem to show much in the image. But yeah, that's possible. But still, this kit seems interesting. All right. So we do see that, yeah, we do have some interesting prompts. This is our kit. And beyond this, we also would like, there are people still joining. It's a bit weird. Okay, beyond this, we also want to share your week two's exercises, for which you have to scroll down, go to your week two coding exercises. You see the form is here. You just get onto this form, fill in your details. Once you have filled in your essential details, you will get similar pattern of some very few MCQ questions, simple ones. And maybe I'm a second year of study. Okay. And then I go to the next where I see my answer questions. This is the part, the important one, where they help you put up your mind as much as possible. I know these look a little different, but then that's how this will make very, very interesting solutions that I see across from a couple of you. So the good part is we're going to send in some uh, responsive code snippet links to you for your week 1 exercises. So don't worry about that. Let me also show you that part. We have your week 1 exercises with the solutions which we will share with you. So let's say this was your week 1 exercise, right? Write a program to create two lenses using PyTorch and display the multiplication of the two as output. So the thing is, when you go ahead and click on the link, we will discuss a bit about what this kit is. Then we will demonstrate an example of creating a tensor in PyTorch. And also you can go down and see how people found this code snippet. What did they search, right? When you click here, creating tensors in PyTorch is what they searched, right? And then you can see this is the code that was copied. This is the dependent library. So you can get a little bit more in detail of the things if you would like. So we will share the link for this with your email that we will send you for week 2 today itself. And yeah, this should be helpful for you to review your solutions, that what better you could have done, how do you have to utilize the platform a little bit more better. All right, I guess this is it. I am open to some questions now from you guys. Since a couple of you had already done the solution, for them it would be like a revisit of sorts that they've done with the kit. But yeah, I hope those who did this session for the first time, was it an interesting one for you to also encounter, guys? How many of you did it for the first time? From the students, like Kapish did it for the first time. Okay. Well, anyone else who did it for the first time? The kit today that we are talking about. Others at all? Okay, okay, Pushy also. So why I'm asking this, because only that way I know that you guys felt the gist of the solution. Annie Rohan also did it for the first time. All right. All right. The third solution is also the week 3 solution is also very, very amazingly interesting. And others, all of you had done this prior. Andrea, there's Alex, Pratik. Okay, that's nice. All right. Okay. So apart from this, if you have questions, you can put those down. If you want to wait for yourself to put down the questions, you can put it in the chat. We do come back with a response to you. Uh, and that's it from today's session from my end. All right. Okay.